Guys, episode 2 of One Punch Man season 2 was really well done in my opinion. I know a lot of people are still complaining about the animation, but I think this episode they were like, hey guys, shut the hell up, we're still going to give you epic action scenes anyway. The animation is different, but I really love how these action scenes are being done so far. Like, I really love what JC Staff is doing with the sense of speed in these fights. Like when Genos was fighting Sonic, the vibration of their movements, the blur, all the little added effects really shows how fast these characters were really moving, and I really like those effects. It was really well done in my opinion. But I just want to tell you guys, Sonic, Speedo Sound Sonic, has been fighting for over 20 minutes with Genos. They've been going in, moving at, damn near light speeds. Genos doing all kind of crazy punches, and none of them really connected. He cut off Sonic's ponytail, but I just want to tell you guys, this man was ultimately owned by sideways jumps. Sideways jumps. Saitama came in there with a move from his Serious series, sideways jumps. Like, are you serious? Saitama. Okay, so everything we saw Genos doing was beaten by the shockwave, not even being impacted by it, but the shockwave of Saitama just doing this over and over, like extremely fast. Saitama is literally on god levels. He's like the Superman of anime. Like, I just couldn't believe it, man. Like, we all know, even from the first season, Saitama is this unbeatable, like, unreachable peak of human evolution that no one else should even be able to reach. But just the fact that he was owned by sideways jumps, not even a punch. This is called One Punch Man, not one sideways jump man. He was owned by jumps. So Sonic at this point should just retire. He wasn't scratched by Genos at all, besides his ponytail getting cut off and his clothes ripped apart, and he was KO'd by sideways jumps. I'm sorry if I keep repeating that, but it's just mind-blowing how badass Saitama is. And I'm going to get to Garou in a second because I have quite a bit I want to talk to you guys about him. But let's talk about Hellish Blizzard for a second. Based on the ending of last episode, I thought she was going to be like extremely badass. Now, don't get me wrong, her powers do seem really powerful, but using them on Saitama, of course, he's going to make everyone look like fodder. But I love the little throwback to the first season when he said, you better not attack me with rocks. That's going to be, that's a bad idea. Because remember, there was another telekinetic user in the first season that was spinning around debris, and Saitama caught a rock and flung it back at him and killed him, with that one little piece of rock. So yeah, that was a really cool callback. And I don't really like Hellish Blizzard's ideology of how to get ahead and whatnot. Her backstory is kind of sad, like how she wants to stay at #1 of B rank because she knows she wouldn't be able to get #1 in A rank. She wants to just be #1 at something because she was always overshadowed by her sister. Backstories like that are always kind of sad, but just the fact that she's looking down on Saitama just because he's B rank at first, it really made me like, he could just punch away your existence. I'm pretty sure he could disintegrate you with just one punch. And I love how she was humbled by the fact that Genos, an S rank, is his underling, and King is like, best friends with him now, the strongest man in the world. So I hope this opens up her eyes, because I really don't like those kind of characters that are like, oh, you have to get ahead this way and that way. Like, they're so tunnel visioned. Like, she is so determined to stay at #1, and she's like, you can never progress without being someone else's bitch or making someone else your bitch, basically, is what I got out of that. So I wasn't really a big fan of her character too much, but hopefully we'll get some epic things from her later on. But now, let's talk about Garou. My man Garou just showed out. I can see why you guys were so hyped to finally get this guy animated. For you manga readers, I don't know what's going to happen next, but it was just a really cool way to introduce like the main bad guy of this season. How he ripped that guy's arm off, just killed that entire room of criminals and heroes. Like I believe there were like 3 or 4 A rank heroes, and they got demolished as well. So a question I have for you guys, I don't really remember too much from the first season of One Punch Man. I remember, like, you know, the main things, but this guy Garou just completely demolished an entire room of humans. And I believe this is like one of the first times we've ever gotten like a mass human related death, because or deaths, because there was multiple. It was a complete massacre. But in the first season, it was mostly monsters and whatnot that were being killed. But I believe Garou gave us the first huge mass murder. Like, you know, besides that one weird seaweed monster that we got in the first season, and I think he only killed like maybe 4 or 5 people. But this guy Garou killed other humans, and I think this, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time we've gotten actual multiple, like many human deaths. So that brings the hype in itself. Garou is a complete monster, like he said, in a human body. So I can't wait to see what he does next. And he claims that he's going to get stronger in just a few months. So, but the question is, even with him killing all these people and showing us how badass he is, as of right now, Saitama is going to wipe the floor with him. Now, how strong he gets after these few months, it's kind of hard to say. It's actually kind of hard to say how strong he is now. But the fact that he said that a few S-rank heroes will be too much for him to handle at that moment kind of tells me that he's not at Saitama's level yet. So with a guy who can defeat a guy by jumping sideways, you know, Sonic is fast. Like even what's her name? My bad. Hellish Blizzard. Even she was like, Sonic could easily be an S-rank hero if he were to, you know, actually try to be one, and Saitama demolished him by jumping. So with Garou becoming stronger, is that even anywhere near Saitama's level? Because it's impressive what he did, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Saitama got kicked to the moon in the last season and came back without a scratch. I mean, his outfit was messed up, but Saitama himself, he wasn't phased, and he even took on an attack that could seemingly destroy the entire world from Boros in the last season. So is Garou going to be above that level? I can't wait to see exactly how he gets stronger, exactly how strong he is when he does. In the opening, there's a really cool scene of him with one red eye. I'm not sure what that's about, but he looks like he's giving Genos a run for his money. But if he's even, you know, struggling, or not struggling, if he's fighting with Genos on like even terms or slightly above Genos level, then I'm going to say he's no match for Saitama, because Saitama could demolish Genos. We all know that. But I'm just really hyped to see a villain that's actually giving us like a sense of like destruction, like a legit threat. I mean, the Sea King last season, Boros last season, they were all really bad guys, but this guy is just massacring people. Like, he claims to be the god level threat that was prophesied. So if that is the case, I can't wait to see what's going on with this guy and how Saitama is going to take him down, probably with a punch. But is this going to be the guy that can actually take more than a few punches? Boros took a few, but that's because he had the ability to regenerate. So can this guy actually take a punch from Saitama and live? I mean, I can't wait to see wherever this is going, but I've rambled on long enough. Garou is amazing. It was a really well introduction to him this episode, but as of right now, he's not fucking with Saitama. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe after the few months after he builds up his power and whatnot, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to whatever happens next. But tell me what you guys think down below. What did you think? What did you think about Hellish Blizzard's character? What do you think about Garou? He's really cool. I love his design. I love his attitude, and I'm loving his strength so far. No one else seems to be fucking with him. I think the only person that can is Saitama. So we're going to get a lot of Garou versus epic hero fights And we're obviously going to get a Genos versus Garou fight based on the opening. But when he fights Saitama, that's when the real shit is going to go down. But tell me what you guys expect to see. For those of you that haven't read the manga, those of you that have, I'm pretty sure you guys are super hyped because a lot of you have been telling me, hey, Garou is the shit. Garou is going to give us some of the best action in this series. So I can't wait to see what you guys are talking about. Anyway, this has been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.